I've been rolling. So whenever you're ready.
You want to put a marker? You want to clap?
No, we're good. Everything is so simple.
Hello and welcome to Parade of Dicks. I am your hostess, Lucy Buttons, coming to you here from my bedroom, and here with my co-producer, John L.
Hello.
Hi. And as our special guest today, we have Michael Lombardozzi, owner of Dromedary Bar, and his longtime partner, Roxanne. Welcome.
Thanks,
Hi.
guys.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you for
Thanks
being
for
here.
doing it. And they're in their bedroom too, which is kind of fun. John L's being the party pooper in his living room, but he does have his mood lighting.
Yeah.
So this is my first Zoom, and we've never done the podcast this way, but quarantine necessitates what it does, and hopefully this will be entertaining for our 5 listeners. So I wanted to have you on 4. It's more than 4.
It's like around
I
23.
don't count. I'm on here. I can't listen.
Okay, so I know Michael obviously from my monthly show at Dromedary Bar, which is every third Wednesday with a bunch of different themes. And so I've gotten to know them over the nearly 4 years we've been doing it. And your anniversary is right around the corner. Congratulations.
Thanks a
Not
lot.
exactly the best way to celebrate.
It's all right. It'll just make it even more of a celebration when we can celebrate. So
Yes. So what are you doing with the bar right now while you can't be open and doing what we normally do?
we're just selling a ton of food and a ton of drinks. It's been really just nonstop.
Okay, but still less than normal.
Oh, of course, but it's almost it's almost like if this was my business as like just a restaurant that sold food online and drinks online, it would be a really phenomenal business right now.
Oh,
Okay.
interesting.
Like that in itself, there's very little overhead. There's very little staffing. So, based on the business we had before
Sure.
versus this, the profit's a lot better right now, actually, because there's a lot less to worry about, a lot less to keep in stock. We have a smaller food menu, so it's less of in keeping stock up, and it's basically the same 3 or 4 items on the menu, so
Sure.
it's easier to prep that. It's easy, so it's a bizarre kind of like, well, this isn't so bad, but
Okay. Do you want to keep doing it afterwards then? Or would you
I don't
like
want. I honestly want that. I want them to tell me that I can't do this anymore. That I'm not allowed to. I have to close, and in 3 weeks to a month, everything will be open again. That's what I would prefer. Like right now. So yeah, I this would be a nice little kind of like side business, just doing, but it's not. It's a lot of work too. Being that.
So are you doing this for the sake of your business or the sake of your employees?
Is a really, I don't know. I mean, I guess it's, I don't. I'm like doing it because I can.
Okay.
So being that I have that option to do it, I'm gonna do it. But I'm trying to figure out what to do. And I'm not saying I'm making so much money I don't know what to do with it. It's the kind of thing where it's like, okay, I'm making the money. I'm able to cover my monthly expenses, like my rent and my insurance, but what is the purpose of it? I'm overworking myself. I'm exhausting myself. I can't employ too many people at a time because of the contamination, and I can't really take the risk of having people come in, cook, or like just do the drinks or whatever, and then get everyone else sick, and then I have to close. So
you have about half the staff working,
or
even. You have the whole. Do you have the whole staff working a third of the time they normally would?
I have 2 staff members working since this thing happened. The same 2 people.
And everyone else is laid off so they can collect unemployment.
Well, they're laid off to collect unemployment, and I suppose they're enjoying that because I haven't gotten that kind of, when can I come in and help you? When can I come in and be part of the team? Yeah, it's kind of like disparaging to see that they're not as there's a couple that are really, what do you need from me? I'm going to do it for you. And then there's the ones that I haven't heard from since this happened.
That's actually refreshing to hear, because we keep on hearing stories about people depressed or very anxious on what has been happening the past couple of weeks. People who haven't gotten their unemployment yet, but it's actually good to hear something like beneficial, a new entrepreneurial avenue for.
I am the most negative individual. I think Lucy might know that about me. I
A
am
little bit.
absolutely always negative and like, fuck, everything's gonna fall apart. The ceiling's gonna collapse in a few weeks. But in this, I don't know why, but in this situation, I've been very positive. I've been really pushing and actually looking at this as like, oh, it's not so bad. Everything's gonna be all right, which is kind of not like me.
So I'm not a therapist, but if you had childhood trauma and you've been in fight or flight your whole life, that's probably why. Like me, I've been very positive and fine about this because I'm always traumatized. So what difference would it be in a
But
pandemic?
that's not the case with me though. I haven't been like I wasn't like I didn't have that kind of thing growing up. I was depressed and a weird kid, but that was my own shit.
Right.
And I figured right now I'd be like, okay, my business is gonna fall to shit. But I'm looking at it like everybody's business is gonna fall to shit. Everybody's in
Right.
the same terrible position. I am actually super fortunate to have a thriving delivery business based on having a reputation of having that delivery service
Sure.
or
Right.
work. So I'm very light. I have friends who own restaurants and bars, and they can't. It's not the same thing for them. They're really struggling to try to figure out how to get delivery going and what to
Well,
do because they don't have that kind of business.
yeah, I don't understand what's going on with your delivery service because I tried to order a picture of the Mount Kailua Colada to my home and I haven't gotten it yet.
Today,
No, a while ago. I was like, whenever you can, just bring one by. Don't put any ice in it. I'll add the ice. It's just my favorite cocktail. You make delicious tiki cocktails, and I can't come to have them. And I
well,
live pretty far, so I can't just walk over. But
so let
when
me
you're
get.
driving by, if you could just drop off a picture so I can get shit faced at home, that would
So
be
I
great.
fucked up, right? Okay, I get it. All right.
Yeah.
How about this? So I've been home because I haven't been able to taste and smell. So I've been
Okay.
home for the last week,
Interesting.
yeah, week and 2 days. I feel fine otherwise, but I mean, definitely that's something that I should not
Well,
be
you don't
taking.
feel fine otherwise. You felt lethargic and you've had like a low grade fever from time to time. And it's definitely like I
Well,
had something very similar right before.
So you're being cautious. Okay.
Yeah.
more. I mean, if I was sick, like I felt I can't get out of bed, or I have a fever every day, or I'm just completely run down, then I know that this. But this is annoying because it's like, well, obviously something's wrong with me if I can't smell or taste. So
Yep.
Zinc. Well, that's a conversation for another day.
that
But
is,
yes, you
I've
should
this,
be quarantining in
but
this
this has
house.
never happened to me before, and this happens to be one of the things that people have complained about.
Yep.
Oh,
So like
okay.
I'm gonna stay away. So next Friday I'm back. I'm working again.
Uh-huh.
So I'll bring you a drink.
Oh, why? Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
No.
I'm sure my partner would appreciate that. So I wanted to have you on not only to obviously pump up your bar, which is apparently doing just fine, but I wanted to hear about your crazy sex life because since I've gotten to know you guys, it's been kind of an adventure. You're like, you were asking me about swingers party, I think the first time we met.
I was
And
throwing one. Yeah.
you were, oh yeah, you were throwing one. So I wasn't necessarily going to go into that. So let's start today with your dick disqualifier. So a dick disqualifier is something, if you know it, you would not date it, and it can be for either one of you and any gender.
I usually if a woman doesn't groom like at all, then that's usually like kind of a disqualifier. It doesn't mean that you shouldn't have any kind of like pubic hair or bush or like anything. It's just like if you're not into grooming at all, period, then that's usually for me, not for him. For me, that's
Okay.
usually a disqualifier.
So there was a situation where we met someone online that was from Canada that was here during the holidays. She was living in a trailer, I guess, like
Okay.
I don't
She
remember.
was one of those. She was selling Christmas trees.
Yeah, so she was selling
Like
Christmas
those
trees.
people.
Yeah.
The
That,
trucks.
yeah, sell Christmas trees. Yeah.
So she was living in a little like one of those wooden shacks on like 14th Street
Yeah.
And
with
she
enough.
wasn't well groomed.
wait. So she was super cute. She actually played roller derby, so there was a little bit of a some sort of. Anyway, she was really cute. She had a great body. And she started kind of like, I'm like, so what do? You live in the bunker or whatever it is? And she's like, yeah. I'm like, well, is there a bathroom? She goes, well, there's like a whole, like, all right, so okay, but
Oh.
is there a shower in there? And she's like, no. I'm like, place to wash your hands. And now that I think about this COVID thing, like this is the worst person
To
to
be
like
with.
have. So I'm like, so what do you do?
You
She goes,
normally hook up with homeless people?
this would have been a first, but we
No.
didn't do. So she's like, I'll go to the gym. There's a gym across the street, or like the Y or something, and I'll take a shower there. One, if I feel like it. Like so,
Okay.
I'm like, all right. She goes, and I don't like shave any of my body. Okay, all right, that's fine. You're entitled to not, be clean. That's
You're a hairy motherfucker.
I am. So
I haven't seen you naked, and I know you're hairy because it's all up
Yeah.
here. Like,
So hairy.
yeah,
I groom back here. No, I groom.
it's like
no.
big eyes hairy. Yeah.
Yeah, no, but which I don't mind. That's so it's not, I'm not mocking the person for being hairy. I don't care about that. This is
Yeah.
this is the thing that was. So she's like, but, and please, if we meet, don't smell like deodorant or soap or anything like any of that. I was like, hold on. So
She was
not
like,
only do you not want me to smell good, you want me to be okay with you smelling however she smells. I can't imagine that there's anything smelling good anywhere around there.
So can I just tell you my initial reaction, like when he was like, yeah, so I met this girl and I'm talking to her and she sells Christmas trees on 14th Street and I was like, absolutely not. Like, don't even say anymore. I don't. He was like he was so
What's
intrigued.
attractive about her?
She was very attractive.
She was very cute.
She has like
Okay.
a ton of tattoos. She had like a really good body, and she sent us this like kind of sexy video
Okay.
of like her in the shack
With
Cool.
the hole.
With the latrine?
I didn't see the actual like piss pot in the corner, but like there was like yeah. So
But you could smell something through the picture,
she
through
didn't.
the image.
No,
You,
no, she didn't look. She looked like incredibly like fun and like sexy and like whatever.
Sure.
And so that's what got me. I was like, oh, she looks cool. Like she looks cute. She's pretty. She's like a great body. Like she seems to be like into us. Whatever. But I'm really, really. I was like, okay, so this is going to be an adventure because where are we going to actually hook up for one?
She said the bunker, whatever the thing was called.
Like
The
I was like,
trailer?
I'm not having.
Why wouldn't
sex
she
with
come
her.
to you? Because she's got to watch the trees?
I imagine.
Yes.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So the
Like,
last
hold
thing.
on, I gotta go.
Yeah. No. Well, who's watching the trees? Oh shit! I forgot about.
But
no,
also,
so,
I didn't really want to invite her over to our house for one because what if she smelled really terrible and I was gonna be like, absolutely not. And for two, I don't know this person like
Okay.
at all. Like, what if she wanted to come over and like
well, you
go
never
through
know
all of our
somebody.
shit and like steal it, especially
Well, so
someone that's living
we-
in those kinds of
We
conditions.
we never got to meet her,
Okay.
unfortunately. But we did before we didn't get to meet. We said, okay,
Wait, you didn't even meet her in person? You were just
No.
texting with her? Okay.
No, it just never happened.
Yeah.
But I was like, listen, I will not wear deodorant. We will not put on any perfume.
I will.
But can you please take a shower prior to meeting, like the day of meeting us?
Yeah.
And that was she was like,
That was
sure, deal. So that was how we had to come to an agreement of like, we won't smell good, but can you smell good?
That was
Smells
that was
like
an,
weird.
that was an agreement that Michael made. I would have not. I would have definitely. I'm not gonna just not wear deodorant and not like wear. I don't know.
I think we
Sure.
wait.
Okay, we got to go back. Sorry, Janelle.
Yeah,
go ahead.
that's the thing. I think we skipped a few steps for those people that do not know Michael and Roxanne.
Yeah.
Tell us about
That's what I was
your
gonna say.
setup, and particularly in this case, you were able to lure, or at least connect with, apparently an international stranger to be part of your tryst. So Give us a lowdown on that.
What are you to each other?
So we are to each other partners. We are primary partners. We don't necessarily take on secondary partners. We don't consider ourselves poly. We put what we do or our sexual lifestyle more into like a swinger category. So we enjoy meeting single women and couples, hetero couples, same-sex couples, and so forth. And yeah, we like to build sexual relationships and friendships, not necessarily romantic relationships.
But also they could be like a romantic situation.
We don't.
It's not just
out.
like, hey, come over, let's fuck, go home.
Yeah.
It's not that kind of thing. It's not that raunchy and kind of like no there's a connection involved. There's
definitely a connection involved.
Chemistry involved. It's not just about, oh, who are we gonna fuck? Let's find somebody, fuck them, and then that actually that's not appealing.
But at the same time, we don't really seek out like solely romantic relationships.
Interesting.
So we're not looking for a third girlfriend. We're not really looking for a girlfriend for myself. He's not looking for an extra girlfriend. If that happens, that can happen. Like nothing is really off limits, but that's just sort of how the 6
You're not collecting people.
No, the 6 years that we've been doing this together and we've been in this partnership, that's just sort of like we've explored other avenues. We've seen people separately. We've seen, we've been to parties and groups, and we think we enjoy like a threesome or foursome dynamic the most out of anything.
Interesting.
Even out of just being together, the two of you.
Of course we enjoy being together. I mean, we enjoy being together a lot, but it's also, I enjoy women. I don't think that I could be in a relationship that I would not be able to sleep with women or have connections with women in a sexual way. So that's just like an absolute like necessity for my life in a partnership. So, and I think that goes the same for him. I think that he is not, I think that he, when it comes to like a monogamous relationship, I think that that's not something that he wants ever going forward. So.
And Michael, do you date men as well or sleep with men?
I haven't slept with a man.
You haven't?
No.
Okay, but you didn't rule it out in that answer.
So I'm not attracted to men. Like I'm not. I mean, that's not true. I mean, like if you see a hot guy, you'll know a guy's hot. You know what I mean? Like there's sometimes right. There's very, very, very seldom times where I'll be like, that guy's fucking cute. Like that's a good looking guy. Like that's too bad that guy's not going to come home with it, right? So have I been physical with men? Yes.
Okay.
But I haven't fucked a guy. I haven't been fucked by a guy.
Okay.
I haven't made out with a guy.
Okay. And Roxanne, have you ever been in a relationship with a woman?
No, not a romantic relationship. No.
Okay.
No, and that's not because that's not for any reason other than it's just not happened.
That's fine. Just trying to get some context for people that might be listening so that they understand your situation. And how did you meet one another?
The Cupid.
Okay, Cupid.
It's a great equalizer.
Yeah.
Well, it does work sometimes.
I would say 99% of the people we meet is from dating apps.
All right.
So, like,
I mean, that was going to be one of the topics that we're going to discuss.
Okay, so I'll let you get to that.
No, but no, it's like this is a great segue. Like you mentioned this international lady with the Christmas trees in the bunker and the latrine, and other
and you're
people.
looking for unicorns.
So that's something I really don't enjoy the term, the unicorn thing.
Okay. Sorry.
No, don't be sorry. I had an argument with someone on OkCupid or Tinder with a girl who was like, there was no reason for this girl to match with us and talk to us because she was not interested in hooking up with a couple. She was just on there to kind of, oh wait, she was, because we had said like there's like options where you could put like what you're looking for, and so it said like trans women, and she kind of like took that, well, aren't all trans women women? And that was a whole conversation. I was like,
it was because in our profile it said women, trans women, like comma, and so she picked a fight with us, basically saying that like trans women are women, and we were like, of course, but this is a very specific dating site, so we
Sure.
so just saying women, we also wanted to open it up, to trans women and make sure that everyone knows that we're not just we're not excluding trans women. You know what I mean?
Well,
It's like we
Yeah.
weren't trying to be like, and
It's
she
easier
took
to be open and clear than to try to, for a trans person to try to say like, hey, I'm a trans person.
Of course,
When do you
of
say that? Yeah,
and
totally.
she took offense to that.
so and to some the lights just went on.
Bye.
Oh.
Is it your bedtime?
All right,
Sorry.
take it out.
Sorry.
No.
There you go.
Then you come back with a big dildo. No, so so like I we have that. If you we don't use it though, we have it. But you do it. The conversation, because she's like, well, aren't all trans women? I'm like, oh, I understand what you're getting at, but that's actually I think these are the opportunities. These dating apps are the opportunities to say exactly what you are,
exactly.
about what you're looking for, who you're looking for, why you're looking for them. You could say, hey, listen, I cheat on my wife. I'm looking for someone to. What the
fuck is happening?
Now the light.
We can still hear you.
It's so
Yeah,
weird.
but the fan just
now
went.
the fan is going on.
So it's like what do you being specific is so important for when I read a profile, because I'm looking for specific things, and now I have to like weed through. There's a lot of profiles of. So this girl was she came at me like that. I'm like, so what do you? Did you communicate? You're communicating with us to correct my grammar or like my wording, like. All right, I mean, whatever.
Well,
and she's like, well, I'm like, are you interested in it all? She goes, well, unicorn hunters, no thanks. I'm like, who said? But you see, that's exactly why we said. I'm like, okay, so I can't say trans woman, that we're looking for a trans woman, or just using that term, but you could go ahead and call us unicorn hunters.
Yeah.
Which to me, I think is an insulting thing to a person who's a unicorn. It doesn't have to be. Because what does that mean? You're a fake. You're a mythical creature. You're not a real person. So if you want to break it,
magical creature, Michael, a magical creature that brings joy to all.
Magical and mythical. Oh, is it a real?
I think the thing about the term unicorn is that it's great when a single person calls themselves that. If a couple is seeking that out, it becomes this sort of like creepy, like lury, like I don't know.
It becomes a conquest instead of something more natural.
Exactly. More of a conquest. It's more of like this kind of like niche, like I don't know.
I just took it. I took that. I took that offensive. I guess because we were kind of like at odds already. But there's nothing wrong with using the term. I just don't. I don't like using it. I don't like referring to people in that way, because then it becomes, oh, you're
how woke of you.
You're a typecast kind of thing.
We sort of like we think that we're a little bit more evolved than that. Like we seek out people.
I'm not. That's all.
Yeah.
Hey, listen, you have time. You're much younger than me, so.
No, but that's, I mean, we kind of touched upon that you guys aren't just going for the bang. You're just not getting there. There's a certain layer in between full-on relationship and, just, a lay.
Like dating.
That you guys are living in. But within that, it's kind of like, it's a good nebulous area. But what are are there boundaries? Are there things that, nope. Yeah, we can do this, but we can't do that.
most important one is if you come in anyone's eye, you gotta wipe that out. You gotta help them. That's about like if you don't do it, you're out.
That's a joke.
Don't come back. Yeah,
That's
just
your only rule?
yes.
No
Make sure
bullseyes.
no coming the no. There's a few. Yeah.
No, I think for a long time we had a like no anal rule. So if we had sex, Michael, that was like a thing between us. That was only.
I'm not even big into anal.
We're not.
We just had a lot of anal.
Yeah.
It was just something that happened that like I didn't even think I asked for it. It just happened and it stuck with us. It became like our thing. Like that was like our thing that we're gonna keep between the two of us.
Yeah, and it was like an exciting thing for a few years. We were like, that's ours and ours only. And if anybody else asks for it, then that's a boundary, And then after a while, we were like, oh, if someone asked for it, that's actually kind of hot. So I don't know.
No, that's good. I mean, that is. I think I've heard this from two of my other friends too, including myself. That's something that I will reserve for a relationship. This is not a like a Bumble or Tinder date kind of thing. This is gonna be for
and that's I mean like it's whatever you want, like whatever
it is really
you could choose that don't nibble on my ear is your thing that you don't you don't do that to
we're just curious what the two of you have what your rules are with each other.
And we I think we adopted that as our kind of like that's our thing because you do need something to kind of like hold as your like
it's something special.
Well, there's definitely another thing. If one person is asleep or out of the room, then you don't start having sex without the other person present.
Oh,
that's an interesting one, right?
That's interesting.
We found that one out the hard way.
No, because Michael just does whatever the fuck he wants.
That's absolutely not true.
Yeah, so you say it like that, and I'm gonna say it like that.
Oh, well, you're fibbing.
Okay, so I'm not fibbing at all. That is an absolute.
Okay.
I like it. It's getting spicy.
So obviously, communication is very important.
Exactly. So I did find that out because we were having sex with someone. It was going really, really, really great. I went to the bathroom. I came back, and them two were having sex, and it upset me.
Okay. Sure. Is it something that you didn't imagine before?
I mean, it hadn't happened before. It was actually really early on in our relationship, and I was just sort of like, yeah, no, I think that's a boundary for like a while.
Yeah. I mean,
is there anything?
Sorry, that doesn't mean that's a forever boundary or that's like never going to change. That's just something that's inherently sensitive with me. So I think that he tries to be sensitive to that.
That's good.
That's good. Yeah. Is there anything that you're happy when you have a third person there that you don't have to do and can pass off to the other party?
Good question.
Oh, wow.
Like you lick his butt, I'm out. Something like that.
I think.
Oh, I don't have to give the blowjob today.
Oh God.
No, I don't.
I don't think so. I think. There's a lot of couples that are like that. A lot of couples that have like those sort of things that are like, oh, great, do that.
No, I like it. I like it.
Tell us what you've done that they were happy to pass off.
I think that like blowjobs definitely. We've been in situations where people are like, yes, do that because I don't like to do that, and I'm like, yeah, I'm happy to do that. I don't know. I think I enjoy because we've had so much sex like through the years. I enjoy watching him like have sex with other women because everybody is so different, and so it's like our sex is amazing and can be different, but it's also can be a lot of the same things, so
sure.
like, watching him
Old Faithful.
Yeah, totally. And like watching him like explore like another woman and like enjoy that. I completely.
we had met this guy. This is like the only guy I think we've ever like hung out with. He was a
Single guy.
single British porn star,
Cool.
which never that we've never had. So like, I bet definitely let's go hang out with him. Don't know what this was a few years ago, so it was like, probably like 3 years ago, maybe.
Yeah.
Right. So kind of like a newer. What anyway? So we meet up with him, hang out with him. Like, this guy's a fucking porn star.
Hmm.
If he's like a famous porn star or whatever he gets paid to fuck on film for money, and he's got a bunch of films. So that's a lot to stand up to. Obviously that's what you kind of don't. So I went into this thing with the mind of, I'm probably not going to be able to keep up with this guy, and I'm probably not going to be doing things that he does. Right? Like, you kind of like,
sure.
So I got the end. Most of the time that we were with this guy, I kind of just sat back and watched. So like, it's not the same as what you're saying. Like, because I was like, well, I can't do
But
that.
honestly,
He was in good shape. He was a little strong little guy. I was like, I'd be dead.
I feel like you were like timing it. Like,
but he was like fucking for sport. Like, it was like fucking for sport. Like, that's basically what it was. But I will say this: Michael is a size queen.
That's on Lucy's end. I don't.
You want her to be fucked by someone with a large penis?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I would imagine.
Janelle, you're out.
Me, dude. Again, I'm happy observing. I'm happy observing.
Do you have a certain size?
No, I don't. No.
You don't measure. Okay.
Well,
I just didn't know in conversations you could.
I mean,
say,
if
like,
the thing looks big,
two-fister.
Oh, he likes thick.
Okay.
Like Coke can thick. Right.
Ridiculous. Right? It's just, I mean, like, I'm not gonna go ahead and say that I'm large, and I'm not gonna go ahead and I'm gonna say I'm small. I'm gonna go ahead and say I'm average. So based on that, if we're gonna fuck other people, I don't want. I personally don't see the point of her fucking a guy with the same size dick as me.
No.
That doesn't make sense.
That's a great way to say that, both for Luce and Roxanne, because for the most part, the way I know myself and I know my friends, there's still most men have insecurities where they won't be able to let the reins give the reins to a porn star and just like sit back and enjoy it. They'll probably do it because of the love, because of you wanting your partner to enjoy.
Crying inside,
but
in the corner.
inside,
yeah.
it's like, how I'm like, so do I need to do 600 more push-ups a week to get to that level? So that is actually a great way of saying, all right, why would you want to step down?
But it's the same thing with me. Like, there are women that we've been with that are like, crazy hot, have way different kinds of bodies than I do, that bigger boobs, that like different things, that are a little bit just like different than me, and I sit back and I watch that happen, and I'm like, look how great. Look, that's so fun. You know what I mean? We're like able to do that.
And the thing is, it's not like she says, "Hey, Michael, this week you got to find me a fucking guy with a big dick so I can fuck, or else I'm unhappy." Not like that at all. I'm actually like, oh, we should do that. We should go find the guy.
And I could give a fuck about dick size.
It's not about.
Okay, so.
Good.
How often do you do this? About.
If we go on dates, so when we're when everything is fine and normal, we have his son every other weekend. So we just are with his son. But I mean, we try to set up a date every other weekend.
Oh.
A date, at least one date, whether it turns into sex or not. We try to set up it. So like one night we'll have like a night to ourselves, and then one night we'll try to set up a date.
That's a lot. That's more than I expected.
And you sometimes you have regulars and you have people that you vacation with and stuff. How often do you see the people that you sort of have had long-term sexual relationships with?
Some of them don't live here, like they live in California, or this couple, one lives in New York and the other lives in North Carolina. So we see them when it happens, you know.
Okay.
And there's like a girl in Jersey that we see that we hang out with, but like we're also friends with her, you know. Like it doesn't have to be like, oh,
Right.
you and we're gonna fuck. We go like party or whatever, and then wind up doing that. So like it's hard to get those four people together. So like another couple
Sure.
and us scheduling is always a factor in this lifestyle.
There's a lot of times that we
Sure.
meet people, we enjoy them in like a sexual way, and then we introduce them to other people that we have enjoyed in a sexual way, and they get along, and we don't even participate in like their activities or whatever.
Oh, interesting.
Like we
Sure.
just kind of have a community of people that we enjoy, that we all have like a common denominator.
Yeah, that's interesting.
And how long into your, like, was your relationship always like this, or did it happen after a while? How did you get to this
Right
place?
away.
It was right away. Yeah. Yeah, our relationship started, I was actually in a relationship when we first met, and I was in a similar relationship. We were a little bit open, but we were like on the outs, we were done, and we were in the middle of breaking up, and then I went on a date with him, and we started going on dates with people pretty soon after that.
Oh. Was that a factor
Okay.
in becoming the primary because the lifestyle was in sync?
So I mean, I was living with my ex-wife and my son and dating. So like one of the rules was I can never bring someone to the house, which is fair. I'd always have to be back in the morning to take my son to school, and being that the plan was for me to live in that house and that with that family, even though me and my ex-wife weren't together, kind of created some sort of a boundary. Whereas like I'm not gonna fall in love with anyone. I'm not gonna like date anyone. I'm just gonna go on dates. I'm gonna sleep with people.
Sure.
I was very open about like what I was looking for, and I wasn't in any way putting any kind of like, oh, the way I'm gonna fuck this girl is I'm gonna make her think that we're gonna become a couple someday. You know, there's nothing like that. So it was always very open. So like I told him, like, look, I'm not just looking to date. You know, it doesn't mean that we're gonna fuck. It means that we like have a good time. You know, like go grab drinks if we like each other. Who knows what happens?
And I was the exact same way, and I was like, I'm just getting out of a relationship. I was living still with my boyfriend, but I was like, we should date people together. We both like we talked about it and stuff. So,
but at that point, we weren't like together. I was still like seeing other people, and it was kind of known.
Yeah, me too.
And the kind of thing where like eventually, we'll never be a couple, I'll be a couple with anyone, because that's not what I'm looking for. And plus, I know I was married before, and I know what I didn't like about being married, and I never want to do that again. So I had like my whole thing, but I had no intention of falling in love and like going crazy. Oh my God, this is the best relationship. So it just all kind of unfolded where.
But now you are in love.
It looks like it, right? Isn't that it?
Both of you.
What? Who turned first, or what? What was the turn? What was the look saying? Like, you know what, this is kind of okay.
Yeah, no, I think it was me.
Oh.
Yeah. And I was fucking mad bitches too. Hot bitches. Not really.
That's absolutely.
But now you can fuck them together.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I was like, I want to continue to fuck hot bitches.
No, that's absolutely not true. He didn't fuck anyone after he met me.
Oh.
I mean,
he stopped fucking everyone.
So he had to reel you in.
Oh yeah, like I mean, I was in a weird place because I was like still living with my ex, but he actually said to me like a few weeks after we started seeing each other, he was like, I don't want to see anybody else, I just want to see you. And I was like, you don't have to do that, but okay, if that's what you want to do. And then he got a tattoo of my body on his arm.
That's a silly story.
Wait.
Show the tattoo.
It's not even.
I didn't know about this.
So
It's a
We
tattoo.
want to see that. We have to see. We have Zoom, so
It's
now we
just
have to
all you
see
see
it.
is roller skates.
It's a redheaded girl on roller
could
skates.
be anybody.
Thank you.
Could be anybody.
Right? Could
Thank
be
you.
anybody.
Could be anybody.
Right?
Probably a coincidence.
No, the truth is this. I wanted to get a burlesque pinup girl wearing roller skates.
All right.
So I Googled the image, and the first one that popped up. If you do it right now, it's gonna be the first one that pops up, and it was this image.
Donnell.
Let's see if that works.
Google it
Pinup?
right now.
Okay,
It just happens to have red hair.
pinup
So burlesque.
roller.
Pinup.
I think it's roller skate. Pinup girl roller skate burlesque. And I didn't look this up recently. This is what I remember putting in.
She didn't have to have red hair. I just want to make
No.
sure.
No.
Okay. Because Janelle loves redheads too.
That's my.
No, he just got that. Just it wasn't because of me
Oh,
at
wait.
all. It was 2
We'll
weeks
look this
after
up.
we met, but it had nothing to do with me.
Okay. Sharing our screen.
Oh, my
Okay.
whole computer just. Oh, you shared your
I'm
screen.
sharing
Yeah.
my screen.
I was like,
so-
what just happened?
Roller skate burlesque. Okay.
Okay, images. Wow, can't
no,
find any.
It was 6 years ago. It was also 5
Wow.
years ago. So let's.
Wow,
Hmm.
can't. No,
That's not how it works, though. Anyway, Michael,
Still-
it's based on your search history.
Still could
and
be
stuff.
anybody.
Okay. Well, no. This was. Why would I have looked up anything other than that? Like,
Maybe because I said roller skate
No,
in 2 words.
but everyone's Google search is different. Is all I'm saying.
Yeah.
right.
Pin up roller
I mean, the
skate.
first one that came up for me is like a roller derby person, but she has
Yeah.
black hair.
It was like in the first fucking page. I don't know.
Or there's one with like milkshakes, which is cute.
Okay, so
Okay, so he got a tattoo.
he just chose the redhead.
I can't see a redhead man.
Well, obviously.
You know that individual?
You're good. Yeah.
So yeah, I mean,
Alright.
I think that that happened, and then he told me he didn't want to see anybody else, and then maybe a month and a half
said, but
later,
I still do.
huh?
Did you say, well, that's cool, but I still do?
And that would have been fine if she.
I mean,
she said
I
that.
don't think I said I'm also gonna stop seeing other people. I think I did
Just
still
naturally.
see other
She
people.
said, "Me too."
I did not.
And I said, "You don't have to, even if that's a, you don't have
So-
to. I know I'm not going to."
I think that
So-
I didn't say me too right away. I think I maybe thought about it and said me too like a couple days later.
I do this sip of wine usually when that conversation. I'm just like,
But the thing with me is like, if she said, "No, you know, there's a couple of guys I want to fuck," I'd be like, "All right."
But I didn't
I'm
feel
just
that
telling
way.
you.
I really did. I was definitely like falling for him, and I didn't feel that way. But then, like a month and a half later, on one of my lunch breaks, he came and had lunch with me at Starbucks, and this is how he told me he loved me. Are you ready? We were
Mhm.
laughing about somebody's shoes because they were like ridiculous, and we were making fun of them because we're assholes. We were like, ha ha ha, and he was like, yeah, ha ha. So I think I'm falling in love with you.
Smooth. I think that was
And I-
like a natural. You
Yeah,
know?
real natural.
Yeah. that
Perfect.
sounds like him, though.
Right.
It was really cute. I was very, very caught off guard. I was like, I think I was like, thank you. I don't know. what
I
to
think
say.
that's the normal answer. Thank you.
I don't know.
Oh.
Yeah, that's normal.
And that was 3
Um,
years ago?
So,
That was 6 years.
6 years
Six.
ago. Oof.
so you had stopped seeing other people and then you started again?
No, I
I'm just
I
trying to
think I
follow.
stopped seeing other people even before that because we had started seeing people together.
Okay.
So
So you stopped seeing people separately. Got it, because they
Yeah.
weren't in the room. Okay, so I'm going to move on to our next part, which is your bag of dicks. So you know the expression a bag of dicks, right?
Yes.
You probably have not heard me playing this game backstage, but when I say bag of dicks, and don't listen to each other. Like picture it right now, decide what it looks like, and then Michael, you describe your bag of dicks first.
So that's gonna be um they got
We're riveted.
wait
Pregnant pause.
wait rivets? Is that
Rib
What
dip.
what does
how
your
you
bag
no,
look like?
how
What
you
kind of
just
bag?
What kind of bag?
I'm I don't it's gonna be like a Jansport, right?
Backpack.
Yeah.
All right.
Like a backpack?
Yeah.
And what are the dicks like?
I that's what I'm thinking of. What are they gonna be like? Okay, one's gonna have like two heads,
Okay.
like a mutant type.
Oh,
Yeah.
not a double-ended one, but just
No,
two
no, like
heads.
two
Okay.
growing out of the same balls. Like
There are some men that have two dicks, yeah.
where are they in my bag of dicks? What would be okay? So that definitely like a veiny thing. Um,
So are they like dildos or are they human penises?
severed penises. Yeah.
Ooh.
Are they hard or soft?
Well, we hit them with the nitrogen, the liquid nitrogen so they stay hard, so the blood doesn't. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
They-
But
It's
they
very
got to
They're
get
specific.
embalmed.
yeah, they're like like a. Yeah.
Flash frozen
Uh,
dicks.
That's all I got really
Okay.
in my bag. No, it's not.
Okay. Roxanne, what's your bag of dicks look like?
My bag of dicks is like a clear backpack.
Proud.
Okay.
Yeah.
TSA approved.
TSA approved.
That's right.
Maybe like a little sparkly.
And what are the dicks like?
Inside it is like a very large gold sparkly double dildo.
Okay.
A like I don't know, maybe 6 or 7 inch leg dildo.
Leg dildo.
Okay.
Yeah,
Oh,
leg
yeah.
dildo, like for a girl, she straps on the leg dildo. And,
Oh, okay.
A
I've
strap
always.
on. Okay.
yeah,
Well,
but it like
it's
it
on the
fits
leg.
on your thigh.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
They have those heel does, right?
Oh, I've seen one of those.
Yeah, heel.
Yeah.
Those are weird.
I used to have an ongoing joke about like a chindo, and of
Oh
course
yeah.
there's the
Those are real things. Yeah.
Oh,
I know
yeah.
women that have those. Yeah, like a chindo.
Have you been fucked by a chindo?
I have not. No, but I would
There's always
also
tomorrow.
have a suction dildo that would be able to suction on the wall, which we do have.
All right.
That's a good one.
Okay, so you both have a portable bags of dicks
Yeah.
Yeah.
for any travel occasion.
Yeah, well, because we like to go to Atlantic City and set the hotel
Yeah,
room
you
up.
like the traveling dick.
Yeah.
And do you watch porn?
Yes.
It's your Pornhub
kind of
search
porn?
category.
Yeah, what are your categories, separate or together?
Together we like to watch
Blacked Raw.
Black
Ooh,
Raw.
oh, I love Black Raw.
Isn't that good?
So
They're the
good.
best.
The thing
Yeah,
about
burger.
Black Raw is that hamburger. That's what he just said. The thing about Black Raw is everybody is so beautiful.
Everybody's
hot.
too
Like,
ripped.
they're all in good.
Yeah.
Yeah. they're
Poor
all good.
acting, but
And
they
it's
are
also-
all great. Like
It's
8-pack,
it's
9-pack.
good acting, and it's also like really, really passionate. Like
Yeah.
everything is just like really, it's not super fake.
Yeah, it's high-end porn. You get the likes of Piper Perry,
Yeah.
Elsa Dream.
Yeah.
See,
See,
I
So that's what you like to watch together, separately, both?
Separately, I like a lot of lesbian porn. I watch threesome porn. And that's not really like his thing, but like me specifically, I usually like a lot of girl on girl, like maybe one day. Oh, sometimes I'm in the mood for gangbangs.
Okay. In real life or in porn?
I think only in porn. In real life, I would like to watch one. I don't think I would actually like to be the centered focus.
there's always tomorrow.
Yes.
So we have that to look forward to.
Wait. Your gangbang is multiple guys and one girl.
my gangbang would be multiple girls and
One guy.
one guy.
That's a
It's
lot of
always fun.
fucking work. That
Yeah.
poor dude.
I was gonna say there's a lot of pressure. A lot of
Sounds
pressure.
like a good thing, but it becomes real sloppy.
No, but I mean, I don't know. It would change. Like maybe like 3 dudes and 2 girls. That might be fun.
Interesting.
Okay, and Michael, do you have your own category?
Yes, I have a few. I
Strap
really, and
on.
this has always been something for me, and I'm sure many men. Older women. I love older.
How old?
Nina
not
Hartley
like,
old?
listen. If I stumbled
down
upon, no, but I stumbled upon. I think she's in her late 60s. I can't remember her name, but she is fucking so hot. She's got a fantastic, and I'm sure her body's been like
Modified a little
worked
bit.
on, whatever. But still, she holds it. Like she's carrying herself, and she's an older woman, and she's good looking, and so like when that happens, you're like, holy shit, that's fucking great. That regardless of what she had to do to continue to stay, she's got that energy and that like appeal to her of just a woman who's sexy and gives a fuck how old she is.
Wait, is she blonde?
Yeah, what's that?
Is she blonde with a little fit?
Janelle's searching.
Dude, no.
I don't know. I promise I'll try to look for it, but it was an accident, and I was like, okay, I got to remember this, and I never did.
Yeah. Nina Hartley is one of my favorite porn stars, and she's old.
Right?
She's pushing. I think she's 62. But the thing is, she has classes. She teaches people like how to do this and that. And when I was a impressionable young man, that's how I learned. That's why I never went anywhere.
That's why you stop fucking people, because they're like, what's this guy doing? He's hanging off the ceiling. He's
why am I pretzeling me right now? It's like,
he's like, he rope around my neck. They're like, that's in movies.
Okay, so I had a guy say that to me once. In porn? I was like, no, I don't fucking know in porn, because it's not real sex in porn.
No.
Like,
no.
Yeah, it's sport. Like what you said, it's sport.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not that.
So you like old ladies and what else?
I didn't say old. I said mature. Sexy, mature women. I like, and this is not to be, because I know this is going to come off that way. And we've brought it up before, so it's going to keep going. I enjoy trans women. I enjoy, because it's not always the case, right? But I enjoy watching large penises with women, and I enjoy attractive women. So at the same time, like it makes sense. And I think a lot of guys, like as they get older, realize like it's not, like there's an attraction there, but it's not like in the closet kind of. It shouldn't be in the closet kind of. But yeah, so that'll be one of the things I look up a lot.
And you would have no problem hooking up with a trans woman yourself?
Me?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Okay. Just clarifying.
Oh yeah.
You can be in a different part of that threesome. You know what I mean?
Well, but and that's I guess that's a whole different topic, talking about trans women and why. Like, I don't want to kiss Janelle, but I
no offense, no offense taken.
No, right?
She's got long hair though.
Right, but but it's because I don't know. There's just something different when it becomes like someone who is a born a woman and just wasn't,
and feminine energy and
right, and like there's a whole thing with that. So
yeah, I mean we've had encounters with men that are like, well, not sexual encounters, but we've spoken to men who are like, I want to kiss you, I want to like fool around with you, and it's just not necessarily something that he's interested in. So if a guy is like, I want you to blow me, it's different than I want to kiss you and I want to like have that kind of foreplay. It's a different kind of intimacy.
Sure.
No. I mean, there's a lot of things written about transgenderism, if that is a word, on why the people like it, like why straight men would still enjoy transgendered porn, because psychologically you kind of, it hits a few things. You have the look of the female, but also they are born male, so they kind of know how to navigate through
the male body.
The male same with women. That's why it's very acceptable for for women to have attractions to other women as well, because most people, like, a person, a female will know the best to navigate around your
So,
genital area.
Michael, is your identity as a straight man, as Janelle just said? How do you categorize yourselves?
I don't like, I don't know. I would not say that I wouldn't say I'm bisexual. I wouldn't say I'm not straight. I don't know. If
we've used like loosely the term hetero-flexible.
Okay.
Just because people have asked that before, that we're like trying to get to know, but it's not necessarily a term that he feels like crazy attached to. Yeah. So.
And for yourself?
I'm bisexual.
Bisexual, okay.
Yeah.
And why bisexual over pansexual, since you're open to trans people?
I'll tell you why. For me, because I don't understand what that means.
Good.
I think that
even the hetero flexible thing, it's like, wait, so if I'm hetero, isn't that going to be confusing if you said you're hetero? Because then that could mean hetero flexible. So let's.
I think that you're overanalyzing.
No, it's just no. All I'm saying is that the words, the meanings, I don't get them all the time.
I think that whatever
unicorn
you feel that you most identify with, I think that that's right, and I think that I feel the most identified with bisexual. Pansexual to me feels a little bit more like based on like your like mind connection and romantic connection with like
isn't that a different one? Isn't that no? It's that, but I guess Pam would
sexual. Yeah.
What?
There's no right or wrong answer, Michael. Everyone identifies differently, and we've had some people that date multiple genders that prefer pansexual, and some people on the podcast that have preferred to be bisexual. And it's just an interesting relationship that the LGBTQA community has with it. So it's just an interesting question to ask, because everyone seems to have a strong opinion of it.
Yeah, but see, because even though I'll look it up, I'll still forget what it is. But the pansexual means like it's a gender, it's not gender based.
It doesn't anybody. Right? Yeah, they would date
What's
anybody.
The one where it's mind based? Like it's like
sapiosexual.
Sapiosexual.
Is that what is that the one?
I think so. I too do not subscribe too much to the labels. Like
yeah, there's a lot. If you really got into it, there's a whole bunch of labels.
I don't want to make a mistake.
I mean,
really
if I were to label myself, I would be a femme presenting cis white bisexual queer person. But I also don't necessarily I don't feel like
Michael's brain is hurting.
A lot. That's just a lot of different
things.
A lot.
Like,
I'm me. I don't have
but this is describing you and your sexuality. You are not just like a monogamous person.
Why am I getting yelled at?
You're not getting yelled at.
So, Michael, would you date a trans man? Or would you have a sexual interaction with a trans man, I should say?
So that would be by definition. So that's a born a woman.
Oh my God!
Like
seriously?
physical. No. This isn't me being fun. Born right, and then
and maybe took some testosterone.
Right, and then
transition, and maybe had surgery, but maybe didn't.
Lives
as a man.
Am I attracted to this person?
Yeah. Is this someone who you have had relations with, the two of you? Is that like on your dating profile you said women, trans women, you said couples? I'm just asking if trans men are part of it.
I think if we're gonna because I'm not attracted to men, like the image of them, like the like I was saying before, how like I don't look at them and go like I probably more no than yes.
We are also
because I probably wouldn't be attracted to them off the bat.
I'm also not seeking out men in a way that I'm seeking out women. Okay. So
cover this up. Who needs to see this?
I definitely I definitely don't like single. That's why we don't really seek out single men. Like if that happens and we connect with someone and that's like, a good time and it, goes well, then that's great.
Sure. But men tend to only be involved when they're a part of a couple.
Sometimes, but a lot of men, a lot of single men I don't really trust, and I have like some, boundary issues with, and if they're not attached to a woman, I feel a little bit more guarded. And a lot of single men feel if they're like coming into a sexual situation with a couple, they sort of feel like I'm just fucking this girl's, or I'm just fucking this guy's like girlfriend or wife. And that's not something I'm interested in at all.
And I think that's, that kind of rises through all the definition or the descriptions that you had in your relationship. It's not, you're not hiring a hired gun.
No.
You're looking at,
and if people are, that's like completely fine and amazing and great. That's just not necessarily like how we roll.
Well, let me just
and it's not a power thing.
No.
Yeah.
If people want to just fuck, that's fine too. We could do that. That could be arranged.
Yeah.
I'm like,
this is your advertisement.
I'm just saying, like, it's no, they don't. They're not just.
Chanel, can you put their number or email address at the
Flashing.
bottom?
Michael comes out of frame. Michael,
Flashing.
he's like, if anyone wants to fuck.
Okay, Cupid.
They know about your bar. They can find you in Bushwick at Dromedary. So, one last question, and then, oh shit, I just forgot it. This is why I have to write things down.
You were. It looked like you were.
Janelle, I'll pass it to you. What's your last question?
Let's do something very basic. If there was one story about all of your relationship encounters, sexual or otherwise, that you want to part people with, what story would that be?
And now I'll ask because I remember.
Oh, wow.
That's unfair. Like, all right, so you're gonna edit this. So we have. Oh, hi, Kat. We have time to think for a second because there's a few.
Oh.
The short, funny one. It's supposed to be an entertaining podcast, Mike.
Oh,
or it can be really dirty.
We didn't entertain anyone.
Okay.
Roxanne had one. Go ahead.
Look, my shirt is perfect for this topic because we're talking about love and sex stuff.
I wore my peignoir, which is perfect after our conversation the other day.
Okay.
Because why put on pants if we're in a quarantine?
What is that thing called? A peignoir? Is that what you call it?
It's a vintage nightgown. But yeah, I was on Jonelle has his own podcast the other day, and yeah, I don't really know how to. It's a French term, but it's a vintage nightgown.
Oh, gotcha. Okay, all right.
Okay. Well, yeah, Polish girl.
That's just a hot story. But it wouldn't even make sense. You got to see the pictures of the girl.
I mean,
I love the train of thought.
Like, one of the
screw the hot chick.
I should have sent them notes ahead of time, and then they would have put together their.
I don't know. This is a tough one, guys.
Oh, like a funny one. I'm thinking about a funny like. Oh.
We broke a bed.
They have so many.
No.
Yeah.
Oh, we did break a bed one time.
Who's
good for you?
It's IKEA. Those are easy to break.
You don't want to do that? The one that I suggest?
Go ahead. Yeah, go ahead. Roxanne's going to tell you a story.
It's not it's actually like it's funny, but it's like it happens to everyone.
Just tell it. Yeah.
Okay.
And I'm sure you've been there. So
everyone
Lucy,
has been there.
I'm sure Lucy has been right there when this has happened.
Okay. You said you have a hard time picturing me doing anything dirty or involving cum one time, and Roxanne heard you say it. So I have witnesses. So I don't think you can say you're sure I've done anything.
This isn't that.
Okay.
I have my bow on.
This isn't that bodily fluid.
Okay. Are you ready? So we met this couple, and it was his birthday. They came. Oh, should we talk about the bar?
No, just we're hanging out with a couple.
We're hanging out with a couple. Okay,
their names are and their email address. And
let me talk. Okay, so we were at the bar. We also invited a friend of ours who we also sleep with. She's a single girl. Okay. So we went back to our place. We were fooling around on the couch. Okay. The couple I don't even. I'm talking about like
I'm gonna-
sexual situations. Do you want to lay it
So
out?
I don't know if anyone has ever experienced what it is like to squirt. I have never squirted. I don't think I'm capable of squirting, but from if you do your research, you'll see what squirting is supposed to be a manipulation of a certain spot in the vagina region
Yep.
that also
I
ignites.
love your embarrassment face right now, Roxanne. That's very
It
true.
also ignites what feels like pee, like right. You're gonna urinate, right? That's the feeling. So that's a bodily. Yeah, that's a so
So
your
let me.
body
so
gets
embarrassing right now. You're
So, hold on.
embarrassing
your
Roxanne
body gets
right now.
very comfortable
Okay.
in the squirting.
Okay. There's no reason for this. So
Of course
we're
there is.
no, there isn't. So we're
She squirted. That's why.
what?
That's why. She squirted.
I know that. Okay. So we're sitting there. The guy is sitting on the couch. Our friend put
Wait, the guy squirted?
no. Listen. So the guy of the couple is sitting on the couch. Our friend is, I think, having sex with him. I am like behind her, like helping them have sex, or like I don't know, maybe like going down on her or
Support.
something. The other half of the couple is sitting up on the couch, and Michael is fingering her,
Like
making her squirt.
in this position.
Okay, so you go ahead.
So like, pretend someone's standing above the here's the couch, and I'm like this, and here's her ass, and the vagina's here somewhere. I think it would be right over here. And
So for our audio listeners, the lady is standing above Michael,
Yes.
with Michael's head in between her legs.
right.
Were you really? I thought you were on the other
No.
way.
No, she was like, oh, so as that's happening, she liquefies the room with
Okay.
squirt or whatever the proper term for squirt is.
I
Sure.
think it's squirt. I think it's a
Squirt.
scientific
Yeah,
term is
just
squirt.
squirt.
And then there's an aroma, not the most pleasant aroma.
Okay.
Interesting.
No, you brought the story up. You finish it. I don't
No,
want to.
she had like a bit of an accident,
She was
and
very comfortable.
and she was comfortable, and she squirted, and she ended up like having a bit of an accident on the other end, if that makes sense.
Feces was
God.
my
I was
biggest
okay. That took a turn.
Yeah.
He's like, I was saying, like,
So-
all right, cool.
But can I just tell you how she handled it was so amazing. Okay. She like her boyfriend at the time was like, "Oh, you know, I think this is happening." And she was like, "Oh my God, this is happening." And she like jumped up, she went in the bathroom, she cleaned herself off. We cleaned it up because we were like, we felt bad, you know what I mean? We didn't want her to feel embarrassed or anything. We cleaned it up immediately.
Sure.
And then she came out of the bathroom and like immediately started blowing her partner, and we all started blowing him, and it was just like off to the races, and it was just like nothing happened.
You know
Didn't
what?
skip a beat. So
Show
did she
must
shit
go
on your face?
She did not. I was able to. I was.
Dodged it.
I was like, "Well, so what's going on?" It was that kind. Like I had moved, and then it happened.
I remember-
it wasn't like.
But she squirted on you.
She did.
Yeah.
That's fine.
But it was really funny.
Donnell likes being pissed on.
It's one of the things. Yeah. I
Yeah.
never.
Oh.
But it was so funny because I was like, ooh, if that happened, I would have laughed so hard.
It was.
Laughed?
Yeah, I would have been like, a little grossed out, but like I would have laughed so hard.
That I mean, I just thought that the story was gonna start and end somewhere around the liquefied version.
Oh.
Yeah.
And this took a turn. Fortunately, I've never been in a situation where that had happened, and I don't know how I'm gonna react to that particular situation.
Can I give you advice? If it ever
Please.
happens,
Please give him advice.
especially if there's more than just two people in the room, pretend like nothing happened.
Yep.
Yeah.
I think that's the like, clean up, start again.
You know, like when an infant shits on the floor for the first time, and you don't mock them for it.
Yeah.
You're like, no, it's okay. It happens. People do it. That's how I felt.
I didn't. You know what? I didn't. I wasn't sure about this analogy as it started, but that now I that's a good. That's a solid analogy.
Even he was like,
we don't have children, but I mean, we get it. Yeah.
I have a cat. So I know.
When the cat real quick. So when he when it happened, he had turned, and I believe he was getting a blowjob or like someone was riding him. He was like, "Oh, hun, you got a little comfortable there."
That's
like
how he said.
That was how he said it to her, and she was like, "What?" Like, you know, like, so that's, you just got.
It was very sweet. He was like, "Oh, I think you got a little too comfortable," and she was like, "Oh, damn it," and then like left and came back, and we were like,
I feel like that's a usual thing then for them.
Interesting.
Maybe, I don't know, maybe, but the thing is that I think that it was important for us to make sure that she was completely comfortable and it wasn't a big deal.
No,
you know?
I mean that's the. I mean the best case. Not necessarily that was the scenario that should have played out. Like you wouldn't want to halt everything and ruin.
I mean, you know what?
Shit happens, right? Is that what we're trying to say here? Is that like the obvious coin with?
No.
So my question that I wanted to ask before was, how do you stay safe with all of these multiple partners? Do you go for frequent testing? Do you make everyone use protection? Kind of hard to do that with all the different stuff. So like, do you have conversations about it beforehand?
Definitely. Well, no, that's one of the rules. Actually, that's one of that we have. We're fluid bonded. That's a friend of ours likes to use that term, and so I adopted it.
I probably know him.
No, you would love him if you knew him. But no, so we don't use condoms with each other, but anyone else any other partners will. It's it's
automatic,
non-negotiable.
Yeah, it's a non-negotiable.
So we'll always use condom, and we get tested all the time, and it's also, you're in a, one thing that I've kind of accepted is that you are at much higher risk, obviously, because you're with multiple people who are also with multiple people. So you can't always think about, not that you can't, of course you always think about it, but there's a lot going on out there. Just as long as you're protecting the parts,
you just have to do your best. You have to do your best at, like having conversations with people. You have to do your best at, being open and honest and upfront, and this is the last time I'm tested, and if someone says this is not what I'm comfortable with, I don't feel like you've been tested in the certain amount of time frame that I'm comfortable, then you say, okay, great, no problem, then maybe this is not for us right now, and
but is that an automatic conversation that you have with each couple, or is it just sort of assumed unless someone asks?
I think that's like what I'm saying. I feel like everyone kind of is under the impression you're either gonna bring it up if you do have anything, or listen, we know what we're getting into,
right?
Just be safe, like it. So yeah, it's not always a conversation, but I think that safety is means a lot. That shows a lot. That's part.
Sure.
It's an unspoken. I guess it's like a conversation you're not really having by seeing that people are coming in with condoms, or like, they're taking care of themselves, whatever. I mean,
right. And this is, all of these conversations, I'm sorry if I ask prying questions or things that most people in your community know, but it's for our listeners to learn about something that they don't know and how it works, because most people aren't as rude as I am and wouldn't really ask those things, even though they sort of wonder. So I try to do that job for them.
I think everybody should have that conversation.
Yeah. You should absolutely,
regardless of what setup you have with any partner. I think a conversation should be done. But I think
absolutely. I mean, I don't think anybody should be having like hetero sex without any condoms. Like any kind of penetration sex without condoms is an enormous boundary and no. And that even goes with like dildos and things like that. Things need to be washed. Things need to have condoms on them. Like you need to be like very, very, and even me, like when I have sex with women, my vagina does not like every other vagina. So it's like a really big deal when, we are washing hands and making sure that, there are like not like full vaginal contact with every single person that I'm having sex with, because unless I know that person, unless like I know what's going on with their pH and their vagina and how clean they are and things like that, it's like it's a big deal for me, and it can cause a lot of problems with me physically.
Of course.
So, that's definitely, that's a bigger deal for me than it is for him. So I'm a little bit more like weird about
Well,
that.
our parts are more complicated. They are more sensitive in many ways. Men can just carry it around and pass it around and not know it and not be affected by it until they find a partner. And then
we're like dying inside. Like,
yeah. Exactly. So thank you so much for being with us today and for sharing and being so open and everything. We really appreciate it. You're the first couple we've had.
Yeah.
So that's awesome.
Oh, that's very nice. Thanks, guys.
We're very flattered. Thank you so much.
And if you have any follow-up questions, you can email them to us at paradeofdicks@gmail.com. You can check out Dromedary Bar in Bushwick in Brooklyn, New York. If you're around, it's a fantastic tiki bar. Again, our show is there every third Wednesday at 9 p.m. once everything reopens. Janelle, what's your website?
JongClemente.com. And watch all the stuff. JongClemente.com. I have there's so many videos on JongClemente.com/TV. It's mostly your shows
and
too.
All the podcasts, iTunes, Podbean, and you can watch the Fun Shoot podcast as well if you like. So thank you so much.
All right, guys.
Right.
Thank you so much.
Thanks. This was fun.
Right. It was great. Illuminating for me.
Of course.
And if anybody wants to pick up a cocktail and bring it to Lucy in her house during this thing, please do that. Save me a trip.
Oh,